Tuesday marks 1 year since U.S. President Donald Trump returned to office, a year that has brought sweeping policy shifts at home and abroad. To take stock of Trump's first year back in the White House and what it means going forward, we're joined by journalist Chris Casquejo. Welcome back, Chris.
Hi, good to be with you.
So, Chris, it's been a year since Trump returned to office. How do you assess his first year?
It's fair to say that analysts would call his first year in his second term consequential, controversial, and disruptive, as Trump's second administration has relied on sweeping executive actions to move on topics like immigration, tariffs, and reducing the size of the federal workforce instead of efforts from Congress, laws that are passed in Congress. Now, he argues that this year has been a success, but public and business reaction remains mixed. Overall, analysts say that his presidency, at least the first year of his second term, has been defined by speed, confrontation, and an expansive view of presidential power. With few exceptions, those within his administration and the Republican-controlled Congress have acted as guardrails in his second administration, which has allowed Trump to pursue some of the more controversial policies that he has put forward.
Right, so as you've said, Trump's foreign policy has changed everything from Venezuela to Greenland. And how do you think his first year has reshaped the geopolitical landscape and U.S. relations with some major countries?
Yeah, Trump's foreign policy has shifted away from the multilateral alliance system that has been the hallmark of the U.S. since World War II into a more unilateral and power-driven approach. The military action involving Venezuela and the threats to forcefully take Greenland have unsettled allies and raised concerns about U.S. unpredictability as far as those alliances that I mentioned. Relations with Europe have been strained by tariffs, while tensions with China are high over trade and technology. Now, many countries are reassessing their reliance on the U.S. and diversifying their own partnerships. Most recently, Canada has agreed to cut its 100% tariff on Chinese EVs in exchange for China lowering tariffs on Canadian farm products. Trump's approach raises concerns about long-term U.S. reliability. Tensions with China over trade and technology place Seoul in a difficult balancing position, and Trump's military-focused posture also renews concerns about escalation on the Korean Peninsula, even as he signals openness to direct talks with North Korea and its leader, Kim Jong-un.
I see. So this leads me to ask, how do Americans view Trump's first year back in office, and how divided is public opinion?
It's pretty much divided along party lines. Trump's approval ratings are similar to his first term in the low 40% range. Polling shows dissatisfaction with the economy and cost of living issues, which is what really got him elected in November of 2024. But Trump retains strong support among his base, while opposition remains firm among Democrats and a growing number of independents. Now, polling shows also that many Americans are uneasy about foreign interventions like the recent military action in Venezuela that removed its president, Nicolas Maduro, and also Trump's threats to crack down on the Iranian government if it didn't allow protests to happen against its regime, and now these latest takeover desires for Greenland.
So looking ahead, what do you think will come next? What major global shifts or policy changes can we expect in Trump's second year?
I would just say expect the unexpected. Trump is expected to double down on his assertive policies, and trade tensions are likely to continue to escalate, particularly with China, as he continues to use tariffs as a negotiating tool or a way to force countries to do what he wants. He's also threatened to raise tariffs on European allies who oppose his desire for Greenland. Abroad, he may pursue bold, headline-driven actions that reinforce his image of strength but rankle some of his allies. For example, the recent message he sent to Norway's prime minister that basically equated him not getting the Nobel Peace Prize with his desire to take Greenland. Now, in his second year, Trump's second year, South Korea should watch 4 areas closely: alliance cost sharing, North Korea policy, trade and technology, and overall regional stability. Trump is likely to renew pressure on allies over defense contributions. He may also pursue high-profile diplomacy with North Korea that moves faster than any coordination with Seoul. Trade tensions, especially those involving China, could directly affect Korean industries. But domestically, political pressure will increase as elections approach, which potentially limits the room for compromise. 1/3 of the Senate seats, the 100 Senate seats, are being contested, and all 435 House seats are being contested in the November midterm elections. And Trump himself thinks he will be impeached if Democrats win back control of Congress and Republicans lose control of Congress. But more broadly, analysts say that Trump's expansive view of executive powers could have long-term implications for the U.S. government moving forward and global norms and alliances.
Okay, Chris, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it as always.
Good to be with you.